Farhan says it was around 2 a.m. when I felt like someone was sleeping next to me. I woke up at the start, but out of sheer terror, I didn't turn over and try to go back to sleep. 5 minutes later, I heard a cat's piercing scream. I turned on my phone light, but the cat was nowhere to be seen. Sleeping alone in such a vast, deserted house, my sleep vanished. I started feeling ashamed, thinking I shouldn't have left my wife and children alone. Just as I was lost in these thoughts, a faint light appeared on the ceiling. I kept the handkerchief over my face and watched silently, paralyzed by fear. Suddenly, the light vanished. Then, I felt two people standing right behind my head. I jumped up and switched on my phone light. There was no one there. I decided it was time to go home. But as I stood up, I saw a woman standing by the door. Her hair was disheveled, her tongue was hanging out, and light was emitting from her eyes. I asked her, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" She remained silent for a moment and then vanished. I was terrified. My legs felt like they would give out. A moment later, she was sitting on the roof with two men, looking at me with rage. She spoke. "By whose permission did you enter this house? Don't you know our young daughters live here? You came and slept in the very room where our daughters were sleeping." Farhan says that at that moment, he knew death was certain. But he whom God protects, no one can harm. Farhan began pleading for forgiveness, giving oaths and begging to be let go, explaining he had entered by mistake. The woman's face grew more and more hideous. Her eyes bulged like balls. Suddenly, she was standing right in front of him and grabbed him by the neck. Farhan struggled to break free, but couldn't. Then, the two men grabbed his legs and slammed him violently onto the ground, causing immense pain. Suddenly, a knife appeared in the woman's hand, and she stabbed his leg, breaking the bone. In agony, Farhan began reciting Quranic verses. He was drenched in sweat. As he recited Ayat al-Kursi and Surah an-Nas, they suddenly vanished. Despite his broken leg, he managed to crawl out of the house and reach the road, where he eventually fainted. He woke up the next morning in a hospital. His wife was outside, waiting for him to regain consciousness. Someone who found him had used his phone to call her. When she came in, she was weeping uncontrollably. Farhan consoled her, saying he was fine. His wife began blaming herself, saying she shouldn't have fought with him. Farhan quieted her, admitting his own fault, and they reconciled with love. After being discharged, his wife organized a Quranic recitation at home and invited students from madrasa to pray. Only then did Farhan feel the heavy burden lift. They returned to the village, and after 4 or 5 months, his leg healed. However, Farhan says he still realizes that his anger nearly cost him his life. Now, he strives to control his temper and resolve matters calmly. Note, there is a lesson in this story for the wise. A hint is enough for those who understand. Control your anger. This is why Almighty Allah dislikes anger. In a state of rage, a person often causes their own ruin, only realizing the damage after it is too late.